block that thing. Every time I have a TV on in the background, it blocks it. All right. That's good. All right, put this cord here. What's up, people? What's up, yo? I never want to do anything on Sundays. I have such a hard time making it to church, yo. Like, I go to the church once a month down here and do some praying. It's all good. I'm a Quaker myself, but I don't mind going to other churches. You know, I like the fellowship, the Christian fellowship, you know. When bunch of Christians get together, you know. I kind of like that, you know. I'm not really, like, totally religious or anything, you know. I just walk in the light, you know. I just try to be good, really. Just try to be good, you know. I don't really like all that bad stuff, you know. Like, just, I don't know. It's just who I am, you know. But, yeah. I like to go to the worship, though. The Quakers worship in silence. So you just sit there for a whole hour and just in silence and just whatever, meditate. I sit there and it's amazing though. How many times have you ever sat when you weren't sleeping for an hour in complete silence? It's pretty powerful, dude. And you can think about your own thing. You can think about your own relation with God. And, you know, have your own personal connection with whatever your religion, whatever your thing is, you know. It started like, there was all these different religions and they were kept on pushing different ideas, all these different sects of Christianity. They all had their own idea what the Bible meant, what God was. So George Fox back in England, I think it was like the 1700s or there was the 1400s or something, 17, something like that. He started the society, so it's called the Society of Friends in Search of Religious Truth. So like basically they worship in silence, and it's all about allowing people, at the beginning it was all about letting people have their own connection with the Holy Spirit. And they considered themselves Christians, and all they require is to believe in God, monotheism, really. But they don't even require that because, well, back then I guess they're different, but I don't have beliefs, so I told them, I said, you know, they said there's only one thing required, they said to me, to be a Quaker. They said, member of the Society of Friends, they said, you got to believe in monotheism. And I told the lady, I said, I don't have beliefs. I said, all my hope and faith towards religion is in monotheism because it makes the most sense to me. And she said that's good enough, and then, you know, I became a member. So when I was 18, well, when I was like 13, I became a member under my parents. But then when I turned 18, I officially became a member. And it's just, you know, I like to be peaceful. I like peace, you know, basically. You know, I'm having myself some breakfast. I got some almonds and my barbecue potato chips. I love my barbecue potato chips. Yo, almonds are good. Calcium. It's like having a glass of milk in the morning, but it's more than just calcium. Almonds are a superfood. They do all kinds of stuff, man. I get high off of food myself. I don't do no drugs or anything. I just eat food. I love good food. All superfoods. It's hard to swallow almonds sometimes. I like to eat my almonds with bananas. For some reason. Meeting starts in 19 minutes. Do a live stream. I'll just sit there for an hour, worship on it. That's what I wanted to do, man. I might look into that. I forgot, but I'm bouncing around back here on my balls on my feet. That would be hot, yo. Have some kind of multi-live stream meeting, worship. So like, if you can't make it to meeting, you get on the internet and it links a whole bunch of people together all over the whole world, and they have meeting right from their house. They all sit in silence. But they allow you to speak too, though. Like anybody can say something. It's pretty wild. Like pretty much anybody in the whole place, in the meeting house, in the meeting room. Like I get up. Sometimes I would get up. Like when I was a little kid, I never talked. When I was a little kid, I would never say something. But once I became an adult, and you know, I would get up and I would say something. I felt moved to say something, you know, and I'm not saying that it's like you're not saying you gotta believe this or not. You're just saying, yo, check this out. Think about this for a second, you know, if you will. If you want to, you think about this. What do you think? That's how I see it. But if anyone's watching, go to YouTube and look up Portland Andy and subscribe. Help him out. Put a subscribe. Professional streamer, YouTube streamer. My brother chilling with him. My brother said something about I could share it, but I think I just say something. Somehow you can share it on Facebook, like I think I just say something in a video. I'm not really. I guess I can make a post. He's a professional YouTube live streamer. Nothing like barbecue chips for breakfast. Yum. Ooh, yeah. That McGregor fight, it's all over YouTube. Just click on UFC on YouTube, and you can watch the fight right now. I just watched it. I just watched it a minute ago. Some guy, the one I saw, there was just somebody with their camera in the audience. It was wow. It was cool from that perspective. Wow. He landed an instep kick to the guy's head. It was done. The guy was like, I've been kicked like that before. I know what it's like. Yo, I've been kicked like that before. I had headgear. I tell you, when I was at my peak, when I got my black belt, now I could do a lot of stuff better today than I could then. But I was in like extremely physical. My physical was like, my body's different now, okay? My body was different then, but if I would have kicked somebody in the head, I hold on. I did, didn't I? Those guys attacked me, yo. They chased me down. I couldn't help it. I felt so bad. I felt so bad, man. They chased me down. I don't want to talk about it, man, but I knocked 2 guys out. And then the third one, I ran from him. I was trying to get away. I'm not supposed to fight. I didn't want to. I literally ran. They chased me down. I had the flu. I couldn't help it. I had the flu. I was slow. My whole body was hurting. And I followed the law, self-defense law. I was smart though. Once I cleared a path and they had me cornered, I ran into the McDonald's. I ran into the back and I yelled, gun. Yo, the cops were there in like 2 minutes. Woo, swarmed on the place. And then I told them, I told the police what happened. And I said, did I do anything wrong? And they were like, no, that's self-defense law. I just walked home. I went home. I don't know. I don't think did the police officer drive me home? It was a misunderstanding too. They thought I was somebody else. They had beef with somebody. They thought I was somebody else. They didn't even know who I was. The one guy was like, I don't really want to talk about it, but he was like, damn! I'm like, what the fuck? Well, I really don't want to talk about it. Some Christians, they believe where like they won't fight no matter what. If you start attacking them, they'll just kneel down and start praying and just have faith in God, and they end up dead. Myself, I wish there wasn't the need for violence, but I see no logic in not defending yourself. Really, I don't see any logic in not properly defending yourself. Really, I mean. But whatever. I'm having almonds and barbecue potato chips for breakfast. Some water and some green tea. Water and green tea. Water and green tea. My mix of water and some green tea. This is pure green tea right here. Actually, you know what? I think I watered that down a little bit. It was is it 8 bags? I brew it myself. I don't add anything to it. I just drink straight green tea. I tell you, you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh man. Eat some superfoods, bam, you high all day off of the medicinal purposes. Like superfoods have medicinal qualities to them. It'll make you feel good too. It's not just good for your body and your cells. It'll make you feel good. Like literally, like I get high off of superfood every day. I guess the sugar in the potato chips probably added a little bit to that. There's sugar in barbecue potato chips. There's no cholesterol. But almonds and barbecue potato chips, green tea. Yeah, this is so slippery. My floor's so slippery. I gotta be careful doing kicks. Dude was just like, what? Actually, you know what? He came from this side and was like, man. The one guy kicked at him like this. The one guy was here and he was like kicked him like this, like this, and then Gregor was like, he went like this, bam, him, just like that. I gotta stretch, and my floor's so slippery, I'm gonna knock my TV over. But I gotta do some more. I gotta get my flexibility down. But after the different things, my body changed. So, but let me lay it down a little bit for you here. Yo, my situation causes anticipation of evaporation of your brain and sensation, yo, and generational contemplation.